right? Should we start?
Yeah, hi everyone. I think we will make a start. So first of all, thank you for all choosing to join the exciting topic of finance. To start with, just a little bit about ourselves and our company. So my name is Ivy Hankinson. I'm product owner for finance, working at Aurobay, Sweden. Aurobay, Sweden, what do we do? Well, this is our mission and our purpose. We manufacture or develop and produce powertrain solutions for the automotive industry. A few facts and figures. We were founded in 2021. Approximately 3,000 employees, R&D, manufacturing, digital. 2023, we produced 787,000 hybrid engines. We have 2 manufacturing sites, one in Skövde in Sweden and one in Shanghai in China. I'm going quickly through this because obviously you're here to see the demo, so.
Is it worth mentioning that you just went live in China as well, right?
Yeah. We have been on a 2-year implementation project to set up, amongst other things, our SAP S/4HANA. And in February this year, we went live in China with our solution. Now, Peter, oh no, there we go. This is very difficult to see, but this is our Aurobay SAP technical landscape. So what you see up the top here, we have our cloud solutions, SAP Ariba, SuccessFactors, that was implemented January this year. IBP, then we have our cloud here. Multi-bank connectivity, this is something that we're working on at the moment to implement. Perhaps we can come back and tell you a little bit how that journey went at the next SAPSA event. And then down on the left side, we have the usual suspects, FICO, MMPP, SD, quality, plant maintenance, etc. PO. And then over here, we have our manufacturing execution system, Prime, and our CRM system, Lime. What I realised, we actually don't have Team Centre here. Team Centre is our PLM system. So for Aurobay, we have 3 main applications. We have SAP, we have Prime, and we have Team Centre. And if you want to hear more about our journey to implement SAP, I'll do a little plug for my colleagues. 2 p.m. today to hear all about what we implemented and how we implemented it. And then over to Peter.
Right. Actually, before I start, I saw one thing there that was actually wrong. This is the empty spot here. Since last week, it's SAP PS there, right?
Yes.
So the project system where we do engineer to order, or have the possibility to do the engineer to order, where we develop products in SAP's project system. All right. So my name is Peter Danilovic. I'm a CEO consultant primarily, but also been working in other areas quite a lot in SAP for the last 20 years. I'm part of S5 Consulting, and we are a Nordic company that is founded in Norway. So we have locations in Oslo, we have in Stavanger, we have Stockholm, and in Wrocław. And since beginning of this year, we are also in Göteborg. We have an office at Convendum. And me and Ivy have a history in SAP rollout since quite a few years back. And as she mentioned, there have been a 2-year or 2.5-year
2
trip,
years.
2 years, with the last phase go live this summer. So the 5th phase. We are about 40-50 consultants in the Nordic regions. We're very much in depth when it comes to the Neptune software, which is actually not my primary area, but we have very many skilled consultants in this area, and this is something I will try to learn a lot about the coming years as well. And we focus on other areas like EVM, finance, SD, MM, and the usual modules. Aurobay is part of the customers we have today, along with other ones that are where we have a few running current S4 rollouts as we speak. The purpose of today was to highlight a couple of things that differentiates the ECC environment, the old costing-based COPA, how we follow up margin in that the old environment, and how it's done in S4. Previously, there was, with earlier versions of S4, there were shortcomings, that gaps that costing-based COPA did not fill, which are now completely closed, and some of them we will see in the demo later on. There is, of course, other functionalities as well that we don't have time to cover now, but you're always welcome to join us in our stand to discuss those. Some of them are, for example, what is very a hot topic now in S4, which is event-based or event-driven accounting. So everything is going to be event-driven, also the accounting parts. You have sales orders that are event-driven, where you recognize revenue on the goods issue instead of billing to comply with IFRS 15 requirements. And you have event-based, also this part that we will look at in the new versions, which unfortunately we don't have today. This settlement part and the variance part is automatically settled, so SAP has made this part redundant in the new versions. So when you have a production order where your goods issue to, it goes to the P&L, it credits stock, but it actually bounces back directly to WIP afterward as a event-driven. So you don't have to do any month-end procedure. Very good functionality. But as said, for this demo, we're going to look at two steps. So two processes. One is the make to stock, where we have the different modules. I love showing the different modules. I know people sometimes don't like that, but this is how I want to see it. You see what document is created in which model and where it's triggered. But this is the focus area, because in old ECC, the variance of your production order, everything was posting to costing-based COPA. Now everything is updated in the ACDOCA table, the central universal table, and you can always have your full margin in there. So to support me, I have created a palette of different apps where we will start by doing an example that have some production order variance, which is very common, of course. I will create the production order, which is a bicycle. I will create two bicycles, and they are due to finish today. I have already the capacity I need to manufacture them. I have the material on stock that is needed. I cost the order. Usually this is, of course, when you save it, it will do these things automatically, but I just want to show the different steps. And we course schedule this order, and we release it. So at this point, we have a production order that is ready to go. We got a number there, 1728. Usually, like for example, Aurobay, they have an MES system. The MES system is called Prime, which is integrated to SAP. So we get all the goods issues, we get all the goods received, we get all the activities posted separately, and they come in and post on a very granular level. What I'm doing today, not to spend time on this part because it's the financial postings we want to look at, I will simply just do a backflush, a milestone confirmation, which will goods received my finished bike, it will goods issue the material I used to build them, and it will confirm the activities that will have been planned to use. So I'm using plan as my actuals. But of course, in reality, it will not be like that. And to make it a little bit more transparent how the the variances are posted, one of the bikes that I manufactures, I had to scrap. But of course, this does not change my cost because I still had taken costs for this. I still used the components I used. The time spent was already spent, so it's a cost for me, and I want to label it as a scrap cost in order to do quality improvements and see where I can find slots where I have quality issues, for example. I will then post this as a final one because we will then do some variances. And of course, now I actually forgot to show you, but I did the goods movement in the background, so I backflushed everything. So now the finished good is in stock, the components are issued, right? If I now go to the journal entry analyzer and have a look, so the journal entry analyzer is one of the reports that come with embedded analytics in SAP. And I created 2 bookmarks. I'm just going to change my production order here so it reflects the one I just did. So it was 1728. I have to have a
I think you need
prefix,
zeros.
yeah. All right, so right now, at this point, the order is still open, it's still released. They have a balance, actually a credit balance, which is a bit unusual, but you have a credit balance on this one, and the different components are posted to the various accounts, and I have activity here. I know people that are Swedish in here reacts on the 5 series account, see them as 4 series account, but this is SAP best practice chart of accounts where they have a cost of goods sold accounts starting in 5. But this is a 4 account in Swedish BAS, if you will. And these are secondary costs that you see here, the activities, right? Then I will go back and I will run the variance for this month. And this is the step that is made redundant in SAP latest release. You will actually don't need to do this anymore. It will automatically post this for you, which is a huge advantage. So you see we have 1 scrap. We have a lot of other variants here as well. For the example, I've created as much variance as I can, of course, just to kind of show you how it posts. And then final step, which is also then redundant in the future releases, is the settlement, because it will automatically do the posting. That means that the settlement itself will be done. Right, and I will do this. And if I have a look at the accounting document before I go into Journal Entry Analyzer again. So it does a special thing here. So this was the balance of the production order. It was credit balance before, so the settlement will even it out, so now it's 0. Then it actually posts that as, in this case, a gain because it was a credit balance. Then it actually does a posting again, where it clears the initial posting and then split it according to my variance category. So SAP has 9 different variance categories in standard. Don't make me list them, but these are 3 of them. So we have, in this case, it's a scrap variance, we have an input price variance, we have a resource usage variance in this case. But of course, in theory, it could be 9 different ones, which have 9 different GL accounts. In Aurobay, we do it a little bit different. So we care mostly about scrap to find where we have large scrap and kind of pinpoint effect, or kind of find out where we have scrap and kind of focus on those areas. And then we put all of the other variances in 1 bucket as of now.
And this is still standard capability. I mean, what we're doing here, we're not doing any special development. I mean, this is just configuration of the system to meet what your specific business requirements are.
Correct. And then if I now go to the Journal Entry Analyzer, let's see if it remembers my production order number.
728.
Yeah. I probably should have saved the variant there, but yeah, let me do that again. But then everyone now probably reacts that there's something wrong with this picture. It still has a balance. It still has a credit balance, right? But no, it doesn't, because in ECC you have the different transactions. You had the KE24, KE30, which shows the COPA, or the costing, the profitability analysis, and then you have the KOB1 report, or the internal order reports, which you need to toggle and tab between. But as we're in S4, everything is in one single table. We can easily, in the same transaction, see where is actually coming from this balance. So I will take the account assignment type and put here. And that means, let's see, I can even add a description on this one, I think. No, it didn't have, but so order is the account assignment internal order. And as you see, as we did the settlement, the balance is 0 there now. So these postings that corresponds to, first of all, the crediting of the order, but also the split into the different variance categories, are posted to what's called EO, COPA in the S world. So you can see everything in one screen now. And of course, the production order that you see here, that's a statistical order posting. So it's only in COPA, but the order itself does not carry any balance anymore. So this gives us a full list, and of course, of all the products, exactly how is our product cost built up, right? So this was the first step on the manufacturing side. And as we do make to stock, there's no direct reference to the sales order at this point. It's not a make to order process. So this order, this product can be produced and it sits on stock for a week or two, I don't know. And then there's an order coming in or a scheduling agreement as you have in Aurobay. And then of course it's delivered. But at this point it's actually anonymous. You don't know exactly where this engine, the serial number is going at this point. So it's put to stock, right? I will go back to the slide. So this was the first part, the make to stock. Then we have the stock to order, which also is, I think it's from the latest, from 21 version that you have the ability to do a COG split. That basically my cost component structure, that this manufactured product, we have a certain cost component structure, how we want to follow our product. And the same one, when we send this product to our customer, it will be splitted. So we will get the revenue, perhaps splitted on different conditions, like revenue if it's any discount, etc. But also in the same time, there will be a split of your COGS according to your cost component structure. So you will know how much of that cost of sales, X money, is freight, how much is labor, how much is etc., etc. Before, you had to do this also in costing-based COPA, and you need to settle it. That is not the case anymore. You don't settle this. It's automatically available. All right? So let me jump into, or back to Fiori. I will create a sales order. I have my customer here.
So we're just creating a standard sales order here, but of course we would be using a scheduling agreement.
Good point. You're right. In Aurobay, they're using scheduling agreements because it has very long contract with customers, and you pretty much know, fairly know how frequently they need to go to the customer and so on. So we get call-offs, which are then being sent. Controlling-wise, there's no difference. A scheduling agreement or a sales order, they work the same way from a controlling perspective.
And while Peter's doing that, just to sort of add, the reason we want to show you in Fiori, particularly when it comes to journal entry analyzer, you will not have this capability in the same way in GUI. So what we've really invested quite a lot in is making sure that we have Fiori up and running for everyone, and this is where we recommend that they are working. I mean, it can be hard because, of course, people want to go back to what they know in GUI, but to have all of this functionality, you really need to be in Fiori.
Yeah, true. And we have really put a lot of effort into the embedded analytics, which of course, if you report just with SAP data, it's a free set of reports, CDS views, etc. There are like 70,000 of them that are just sitting there. There, a lot of the things that you think you need and you don't have is probably there. It's a matter of finding it.
Yeah, and it puts it in the hands of the business. You know, you don't have to go to IT. Hey, I want a report, and we go into Report Painter and create things. The business have a lot of capability here to be able to design the reports in the way that they want to see the data.
So not printed. Yeah, true. So we have a concept there that we're just starting off where we will have one user on the business side that creates the reports in custom analytical query, just to mention, and then we have someone from the digital side that would support them using or joining existing CDS view, which contains more or less all the data. The biggest challenge is to find exactly the one you need. That's why we spend a lot of time, but you don't have to actually model it yourself. All right, so I created my sales order 5018, and I will now deliver the good that I just manufactured. So I will create the outbound delivery and mark it, and I will create the delivery. I'm not sure if you saw that. There was also a credit check in the create a sales order one. I forgot to show that, but that actually shows exactly how much outstanding has this customer right now as we speak. Are you close to the threshold or not? And of course, if you place your order, will it exceed the threshold and so on? If we have time, I'll go back and show you. All right, so we create the delivery, and now we need to pick it. I do this outside of EVM for obvious reason, because this is not the purpose, but of course Aurobay is running EVM, and so the delivering part is done from there. So I will enter my pick date. What date is it? 23rd. So I should get one hit, and there it is. And this is my delivery. I will pick one quantity. And I could have done it like that. And when I now post, it will give me my cost of sales, right? So if I go back to the journal entry analyzer, what was the order number? 5018.
5018.
Yeah. 5018. Yeah. And I created a. So usually you have the same report, but you just save your own views of drill downs that you usually use. So I'll just change my sales order. Yeah, I found it. All right, so right now, this is my standard cost that you saw there, 70,000 for 2 bikes. It was actually a bike. That's quite a lot of money, so it was a very expensive bike. And it has the breakdown. So what the system does, when I post my goods issue, it will credit the stock, it will debit the P&L. But immediately after, there's the event that credits that P&L posting and debits your cost component structure. So you can have the breakdown when you do analysis in COPA or a margin analysis on this level. So you can, for all of your products, how much machine time do I put in? Do I have a very labor-intense product, or is it much material-intense, etc.? Do I have a lot of overhead, and so on and so on? And of course, these two combined views will give you the overall picture of your product cost, because this is your cost of sales. This is always according to the standard cost for Aurobay. Put that in relation to the production cost, and that's your full cost of manufacturing. One thing is missing here, and that is, of course, the revenue, because now we have a very bad margin. And this is the last thing I'll do. I will create a billing document, and it's the first in line. All right, and if I go back here, I will have my full. So now I have the 100,000 revenue, and this is then my net margin, GP1. And of course, now I only had one condition in the sales order, of course, so that's why you only see the revenue. But if you would have more, it will see the full structure. And then you can aggregate it, you can see it by customer, by product, and so on. So, yeah, so I think we're close to time there. Yeah.
And just to say, this is Peter's showing you here in the S5 demo system, but this is actually what we have set up at Aurobay. Yeah.
And what we're looking at in the future is this one here, right? Oh, you can't see my pointer. The step number 5, the settlement, and the step number 4. So when an upgrade is done, these steps, these month-end steps will be made redundant. So that will significantly shorten the month-end process or eliminate it when it comes to product costing. So, yeah. 2 minutes left.
Yep.
Is there any questions? Or crystal clear? Yeah. If there are any, we have our stand S5 in the exhibition area there. So please come and talk to us, especially about step number 4 and step number 5. That's very cool. Yep. Thanks.
Thank you.